Welcome back. We have another knife that was loaned in from my good buddy over at Tier 1 Gear Reviews. Please go check out his channel. I will put a link down below as always, because I really appreciate people loaning knives in, whether they're other YouTube channels, which happens a lot, or just normal viewer knife guys, which also happens. So I'm super grateful for all of that, because for some reason people like to watch my channel a little bit, and I could not do daily content without people helping out. So thank you for that. This is the EMP EDC Nymble frame lock. That just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? Here's a little bit of information about this specific one. I will put the specs down in the description, because I've started kind of doing that in hopes of making the videos a little bit shorter and a little bit more succinct. Succinct? Is that the word? You know what I mean. A little more focused and less about reading you a bunch of specs that you can just find on their website, which will also be linked below. Now, this is the second EMP EDC knife that I have been able to show on the channel. I bought one from Slicey Dicey about a year ago. The Slenderman, I think it was. I'll put a link up here towards the end for that video. That was an OTF, automatic out the front, which was super cool. I don't have that any longer. I since sold it, but that was a cool one to have in the collection for a little bit. So let's talk about the Nymble. It is pretty freaking cool, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I am not the first guy on the block to show these. I know Jim Skelton did a video claiming it was the maybe best EDC knife on the market. I did not watch his whole video. Sorry, Jim. I didn't watch it all. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty cool. It is on the small side. I would like it maybe one little step up, and we'll do a couple of size comparisons here in just a second. But overall, it's 6.78. So it's just a hair under 7 inches overall, with an under 3-inch blade. So for me, that falls into the small range. I can actually Spidey flick it, reverse flick it, middle finger flick it, whatever you call it, which I still think is a silly way to open a knife, but we won't get into that. I know people have argued with me and sent me videos and told me why it is the greatest opening method there is. Whatever. Front flipper is also not my preferred method, but it works. So for a lot of you, I know that multiple deployment is a thing, right? So you've got your normal flipper tab. You got your front flipper. You got your thumb stud or thumb flick, and you got your reverse flick. Okay, so this has pretty much every opening method you could possibly want, other than the detent is really good, so you can't just wrist it, which is a good thing. So all in all, it's pretty good. Let's do a close-up here so you can get a good look at it. This one is the all blacked out version. Did a great job. There's no branding on the blade. A little bit of their logo there on the pivot. Nice textured frag pattern, if you will. All blacked out with a pop of Damascus on the clip, as well as a matching Damascus backspacer. So I love that. I love blacked out knives, but with a pop is fantastic. And no marks on the blade on this side either. Now, it's an awesome knife. It's very cool. I wish it was a hair bigger. And as I've been fidgeting with this for the last couple of days and carrying it, this kind of lock bar cutout, sometimes my fingers or my hand can get kind of uncomfortable here, right? This is a pretty hard edge. If that was just kind of knocked down a little bit, just here in this corner area, that would be cool. Now, most of the time, I am not feeling it, but every so often, depending on how my hand is as I'm, handling the knife, it will be a little uncomfortable. My hand will catch there every so often. So, other than that, it's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Here it is next to a Sharpie. How about the Spyderco Delica? So it's roughly the same size as the Delica. Now the handle area is a little shorter because really your front finger is going to go here. So it is a tiny bit cramped for my hand. Okay, my pinky's not really hanging off, but it's almost. So that's why I think for me personally, if this was maybe like a half an inch bigger in overall, here it is next to AA and a D cell battery, I think it would just, just a hair bigger for me. How about next to a Hellraiser P series? Granted, the Hellraiser is much bigger. The Kubi KB237, similar. G10 versus titanium, D2 versus M390. I don't know. All in all, I think it's pretty cool. I think these ran around $300. I didn't look for sure. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's a very cool knife, and I'm super glad. And in the pocket, it's pretty awesome. So the way this is angled here, as you're a right-handed, if you're right-handed, I put it in my pocket on the right-hand side, and this angle just kind of mirrors the pocket, the material of my pocket. It's super great in the pocket for sure. So Justin over at T1, thanks very much. I super appreciate it. Please go check out his channel down below and check out the Slenderman video up here in the corner.